Will anybody recognize this car? This is Lilo, my old 86 Mustang convertible that I traded for an inoperable Capri that at the time we didn't know how bad it actually was. I was recovering from my surgery and I couldn't really delve too deep into that Capri, and turns out that thing was extremely rusty. The motor was seized, and I felt bad for it at that point. But this is my old car. So you can even still see on the dashboard, still with the 3M tape, you can see where I used to have the phone mount on there. You might be able to see actually where the Katarina's garage logos were on the rear quarter windows. Now, this is different than what I had. I did run an HEI for a bit, and then actually, no, I never ran an HEI in this car, I don't think. It was always the distributor that we picked out of his other car. Now, Keith actually put the original style valve covers on it, and he put a 2-barrel on this thing instead of the 4-barrel and stuff like that. So it's just a Motorcraft 2100 or 2150. I think it's a 2100. But it is like, this is a car that kind of got away from me to a certain degree. Now, would I love to have this back? Absolutely. Am I going to pay what he's asking for it? No. This car needs rear quarter panels. The doors are bad. You can kind of see actually where it's starting to rust in behind the trim there. It's always stuff that I meant to try and address when I owned it. You can see up here in the, right where the corner is, there's actually a hole right there. So every time you left this thing outside and it rained, your whole area back there would just be covered in water, and it just wasn't that great. You can actually see on this one, there's actually a hole in that rear quarter right there, right? And then there's more rust underneath the trim, and again, more rust along the door and stuff. This car did have an issue as well with the transmission, actually. We could never get it fixed properly, like when connecting the kickdown and stuff like that, because it's a C5 automatic that was from the 3.8 V6, and we could just never get it set up properly. And as a result, it did have issues when going into third gear of it kind of over revving itself a little bit before it would actually shift. But if you manually shifted the car, it was absolutely fine. I had these 10 holes on it for... Actually, those aren't my 10 holes. I actually had different wheels on this thing, to be fair. But it, of course, has the faded trim and all this different stuff, right? Like this is pretty much how I had it. And then you can actually see where the A-pillar metal flew off. It's in the back seat. Keith actually sold it with that in the back seat. But he's asking $7,600 for this car. Is it worth that? No. It's a good car, don't get me wrong. It needs quite a bit of work. But you can see all the thing here. And yes, it is a roller motor technically, but it was a non-high output. It was like 178 horsepower, I believe. With a 4-barrel on it that was tuned properly with an Autobrock Performer and a Holley 600 CFM 4-barrel on it. Cool car, and I do miss it, but yeah, who knows? Somebody might pay that, but I certainly wouldn't.